Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. Really appreciate your time. So this is the Dead Mall update. This is my first video. I'll give a lot of props to some of the folks that came before me here to Signal Hill as we walk in. Right off the bat, I want to thank Dan Bell for doing this mall probably 5 or 6 years ago. We have been visiting this mall over the last 3 years, and it is getting worse and worse during every visit. Really, really cool mall, and we're really sad that it's in the condition that it's in. Here you see the map. Off to the right, we've got IHOP. That has been closed for a while now, and it is definitely falling apart. Off to the left, we have a little deli that was there. I think that's Al's Market and Deli, unfortunately closed. And there we've got Per Nails. I think it was Viper Nails or Super Nails. Look up at that ceiling. Take a look at that, because as we go forward into this mall, it is going to get worse and worse. And also, there's a lot of mold here. About 5 to 10 minutes into visiting this mall, I started coughing. I could feel the mold in my nose. It was all in the air. This is really, in my opinion, not a safe place for folks to be. Look at that beautiful fountain as we walk in. And you'll see Wooten Jewelers, one of the two tenants that are left here. But guys, look in the back behind that JCPenney pillar, the mold that's up in the ceiling. We're going to get to that in a few moments. Look at that beautiful water cascading over, and unfortunately that brick adding to the water there. But yeah, let's take a look at that mold. So that is definitely not the worst of it. We're going to see a lot worse. So let's go ahead and head off to the right side here. See a lovely carpet that has been massively stained through the years. And off to the right side here, this is M Alterations, and that is really, really cool place. It actually was an arcade back in the day. I found a few pictures showing that it was an arcade. Here, off to the left, down towards the end, you'll see Pet Pros. So it was a pet place, obviously, for kitties and dogs. Unfortunately, probably dogs that were out of a mill. You know, sad to hear that. But I remember those days of having the pet store at my mall. I'm originally from New Jersey, and my mall was in Central Jersey, the Brunswick Square Mall. I always loved walking past and seeing the puppies in the window. Now, I believe this was a Sears at one time, and it might have been another Anchor or two. There's one of the side entrances for Signal Hill. You'll see that there's about 4 or 5 smaller entrances and exits for the mall. Yep, take a look at where the puppies used to be. Obviously not there anymore. There's one shopper that is walking through the mall. I think that gentleman stopped by the jewelers, and he's probably carrying a bag from Belk. Yes, Belk is also in this mall, but it has been totally walled off. You cannot access Belk from the mall anymore. I assume they probably walled it off because of the mold situation. It is really, really bad. If you are allergic to mold, please do not visit this mall again, in my opinion. You will definitely get sick during your visit. Here we've got Jack's Furniture and Piano. Now let's take a look in real quick here. You'll see a lot of tiles that are falling out through that ceiling. I assume that's probably not good for pianos. As we head back down here, there's the maintenance guy. Really nice guy. Every time that we've been to the mall, we've always said hi to him. He's always said hi back. He's never bothered us, when we've taken some pictures. I feel really bad for him because this is really moldy. He's probably sick from being in here. Wooten Jewelers, guys, off to the right side. And then look at that mold. Look how crazy that is. And that's also the same inside Wooten Jewelers, if you notice when I was walking a little bit closer there. But they're still open. They've still got customers coming and going. Now off to the left side there, that used to be a Chick-fil-A. I learned that from a few videos, including Dan Bell's video. And then we see Stars Wireless off to the left there. That is the second tenant and the only other tenant inside the mall. And off to the right there, I believe that's Armada Music and DVD. I'll have to take a look at that name there. I think this might have been maybe a Musicland or a Sam Goody back in the day. There's our learner, boy, and there's also our desert of dirt. Unfortunately, a desert of dirt for one of the planters there, but that learner, that's that shot that I love when Dan Bell was here about 5 or 6 years ago and did his video on the Signal Hill Mall. Look at that mold, guys. The water the staining, the mold. There's our JCPenney, and take a look off to the left of the JCP. You'll see about 3 or 4 mirrored panels missing. So I wonder if it was the mold or maybe the moisture that has gotten to those panels and they wound up popping off. Now as we get closer here, you'll see the plexiglass and aluminum accordion gate here. That's not just dirt, guys. That's mold that's growing on that plexiglass. Really unsafe situation, but I am fascinated by it, unfortunately. And there we go. God bless America. We see the great flag. Unfortunately, things aren't going that great here at Signal Hill. We really wish this was not the case and that this was a vibrant mall. It's a really great location, actually, right off of Route 40, just north of Charlotte. And if you were heading up towards Winston-Salem, there we go with the little fountain that's in front of JCPenney. That is also out of commission. Now off to the right side there, you'll see one of the other side entrances for the mall. I'm going to walk down that hallway in a moment. There's another shot of all those moldy tiles and moldy ceiling, and there's that learner shot again. I love that shot. I always go back and watch that video from Dan. As we go down the corridor here, one of the things I wanted to let everybody know is if you happen to have visited this mall previously, there used to be a mansion behind the mall, and that has been demolished. It was vacant and abandoned for many years, and I've heard rumors that many folks went in, looted it, and also there was some arson. It has finally been demolished. It is not there anymore. And then also down the hill there, that's where there used to be the Alpine Village Pizza, also the movie theater, the JR Cigar outlet, and also some other stores that actually are still available for shopping. But the pizza place is gone. The movie theater is looking like it's falling in upon itself. The JR Cigar is condemned. Nobody's allowed in that building. You could smell the mold from about 200 yards away when you're literally driving up on the JR. And then also the Mexican restaurant is still there, but in very, very bad condition. So again, that's down the hill from the mall for anybody that visits Signal Hill or has visited in the past. All right, so as we start to head back towards the quad area, again, it is just shocking the amount of mold that is in this mall. But it is such a cool little mall. It makes me think of what was. Off to the right here, again, this was the Chick-fil-A back in the day. And then also we will see Merle Norman Cosmetics off to the right side there with the old school gold sign. How cool is that? So let's take a look again in the quad area. And we've got everything kind of sectioned off there. There were some repairs that were going on in the tiled area there on the floor. Now in front of us you'll see the NBA fan shop. So I assume that was probably an actual NBA store back in the day. The Charlotte Hornets are not too far away, and obviously the city of Charlotte. And off to the left, that was a Bath & Body Works that actually Wally B26 had filmed probably about 2 years ago that was still open. But it had dripping ceilings. There was all types of situation going on in that Bath & Body Works. Off to the right side here, I assume that green and red place was a men's shop. You'll see the walled-off area for the Belk in front of us. Here is our third fountain, and this is our second one that's out of commission in front of Belk. The little wooden place off to the left there, that kind of reminds me of a, what was it called? Hickory Farms. Back in the day, we used to have one of those in my mall. Here is another one of the side entrances for Signal Hill Mall. So many ways to get in and out of this mall, even though it is so small. And then here in a moment, we're going to see that this was a Books A Million back in the day. So really impressive that this tiny little mall had a BAM. Would have been nice to grab a coffee, maybe a cookie. And there you see that Radio Shack. Absolutely beautiful. Love seeing that Radio Shack, but obviously not in action. That is a great storefront. All right, we're going to walk back towards the quad here. We're going to take a look again. Keep your eye on that ceiling, guys. Look at all of that mold and all of the water damage. Again, we walk past the NBA fan shop. And also there was another jeweler off to the right side there that probably left years ago. We'll walk back up to the fountain. This is great. I mean, this is absolutely great here that this is still in operation. Love it, love it, love it. I wish it was a better situation here at Signal Hill. I do hope that the next time we get to come back to this mall, that we will still see it again. Hopefully a little bit of repair, and hopefully it won't be unsafe for folks to be inside. So here's the other jeweler as we look in. We'll walk towards the IHOP here as we start to head back out towards the main entrance and exit of the mall. And again, look at all the painting up on the ceiling there to cover all that water damage. Yep, the IHOP was in operation, I want to say maybe about 1.5 years ago. And yeah, really sad. So as we start to walk out of the mall, I want to give some props to the folks that have been here before. Again, Dan Bell, Wally B26, also Ace's Adventures, and also I want to give a special shout out to my man Sleeve in South Jersey. Yes, Sleeve, I'm doing a Dead Mall video here, and maybe you'll make a comment in my comment area here for the video. So this was my first video for a Dead Mall update. Thank you guys so much for your time. I wish you a great day, a great evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.